Now, we have just completed our first week of April, and in honor of April being Safe Digging Month, we're joined here on First Alert 4 On with Eric Kozak, the Vice President of Natural Gas Operations for Ameren Illinois. Eric, thanks for joining us here on the stream.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Megan.
Of course. Now, before starting any outdoor project, maybe it's the springtime, sprucing up the yard, putting in a fence or a mailbox, what should I first do if I'm a homeowner?
Yeah, the number one thing you need to do is call 811. And what that does is it notifies the utilities that you're planning a project and you want your project to go successfully. So in order to do that, you need to know where the underground utilities are. So when you call 811, it'll notify the state agency, and they'll make all the phone calls for you to notify those utilities so they can mark them on the ground so you know where you can and cannot dig safely.
And does that differ, say, if I was a contractor? Does that process differ at all?
The process is really the same for a homeowner or for a contractor. And 811 is a universal number. It's used throughout the United States. It's one number for everybody to call. It started back in 2005 is when that went into effect, and the FCC made that a universal number for people to call for the one dig application.
So very easy, very convenient. I feel like you try to make it as simple and as easy for people to remember to do so, because it is very important.
It is very important. You know, the reason you want to call is obviously for safety reasons, right? You don't want to hit a gas main or hit an electric line or even a water or sewer line for that matter, or a communications line. You know, any of these utilities can be essential for people. And you go ahead, Megan.
That's okay. I was just going to say, you have some flags here. So what exactly do they mean if I see them in someone's yard?
So yeah, so we have flags here. You know, we have one is red and one is yellow. And the red one represents that is an electric utility. The yellow one represents gas. There are other colors. Blue will be for water, green will be for sewer, and orange will be communications. That could be phone, cable, or fiber optic.
What is something that maybe the typical person may not know before they call 811?
Many people just don't know where their facilities are located on their property, and that's really important because it can be dangerous and can interrupt service to other people that need the service. So, but they also don't know that it is a free service. We get over 700,000 calls in Illinois for locates a year, and that's just Ameren, Illinois. That doesn't include the Chicago area. So it's a free service, it's free of charge, and it's for public safety, and that's why we do it.
Do calls generally go up in the springtime when people are starting to do home improvement projects?
Yeah, absolutely. We just heard from the weather forecast that things are kind of looking good, right, for outdoor projects. So that is the time when people start to get active in their yard and start doing all these projects. So definitely we want everybody to call. It's a large volume that comes in, but we want people to call in. We want them to come so we can locate for them and they can do their project safely.
Of course, always recommended that you call this number before doing a project. I know last month we reported on a story in Imperial where workers hit a gas line and a home actually exploded, but thankfully crews quickly evacuated a mom and her kids right before that explosion happened. So very serious situation to deal with. Now, if you hit a natural gas line while digging, what is the first thing that someone should do?
Yeah, if you hit a natural gas line, you're typically going to hear it and you're going to smell it. And the first thing to do is remove yourself from that situation and call 911 immediately. Once you're safely out of the situation, you can call the utility company. In our case, in Ameren, Illinois, that's 1-800-755-5000, and we will respond too. So we will work with the local emergency services personnel. We'll come out, we'll make the necessary repairs, shut it down, and make the situation safe.
And is there anything else that you would like to share with our viewers just about being safe and maybe about the program?
Yeah, I just want everybody to understand that if you smell gas, we always say smell gas, act fast. So remove yourself from the situation and call 911 and then call Ameren, and we'll come out and respond. We don't like responding to emergencies, but we understand it's an important part of the business, and we want to make sure our customers are safe, your friends and neighbors are safe. So if something bad happens, pick up that phone and call. There's never a charge. There's not a call for the 811 service, and if you smell gas, there's not a call for that service either. And that is pretty universal nationwide.
That is really helpful to know that it is a free service. It seems very simple and easy to use, and always working to keep people safe, especially at a time when so many home improvement projects are happening. Eric, thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, Megan. It's a pleasure.
Of course.